Thanks for checking out ChartGuys.com, home of technical analysis education in both the stock market and cryptocurrency worlds. See the links in the description of this video for more information on our two courses, Entries and Exits on the Fundamentals of Technical Analysis, as well as our new course on Trading Cryptocurrency Strategy. Purchase both and receive a 20% off bundle discount. Thanks for checking us out. Let's get on to the technical analysis. Hey everyone, checking in on the big three here and just getting a glimpse of the overall cryptocurrency market. We can see we are certainly consolidating in the vast majority here with the correlation to Bitcoin. Bitcoin on the daily time frame, bearish reversal doji was confirmed and we are pulling back. And it was the 4-hour time frame that we were looking at in the video yesterday, which was still normal and healthy at that point. But the clear bear signal occurred when we broke the higher low pattern. So the low at that point was 43.54. As long as that held, the bulls had these clear higher lows. But then after the video, we had our clear lower high and then lower low. So we can see as soon as that support level broke, a bunch of stops triggered. And now we're down looking at another support level. I'm looking at this area down here of 42.45, and we bounced off of 42.40, and the bulls are attempting to hold this level, but we are watching for the potential of a bearish reversal head and shoulders pattern. If we were to break this neckline and see further continuation, the next support level is down here at 42 psychological, and then up at this level at 41.35. So the bears have the upper hand. The daily time frame, we can see it's normal healthy consolidation so far, and I just made all these lines to make it a bit more confusing. Let's clear these out, but it's still healthy consolidation because what I'm watching is this low, and anything above 40.15 is a higher low on the daily consolidation. So there's no red flags at this point in terms of the trend changing. The only thing that I am noting here is the volume. We can see the bull volume here on the second leg up, or I should say the most recent leg up, was very low compared to the consolidation volume. So that is worth noting, but until we see a significant lower high or lower low like we just saw on the 4-hour time frame changing the trend, then the bulls on the daily will still be just fine. So at this point, there's a very weak bounce on the 4-hour time frame, and not much has been going on all day at all. It's been very easy to remain patient. The hourly time frame, we can see the range that we've been trading in. We did have some oversold 15-minute bounces, but we've been attempting little higher lows and higher highs. Right now, I'm looking at resistance of 43.13, and we topped out at 43.11 essentially. So I would call that a double top. It's within a $2 price point, and that is close enough on a $4,300 coin that I can call that a double top. And we have a clear little higher low pattern. We could draw a trend line of support if we wanted to, or we could just look at the higher lows. If we were going to draw a trend line, we would be at risk of closing below it right now. But I'm looking at 42.62 and 42.76. Again, just the higher lows of this hourly bounce. And we don't have a clear higher high yet. We have to see the bulls break that double top. And if we do break that double top, look at the channel we are in, back to the 4-hour time frame. So we have a clear resistance zone in the 43.60s. And look at this rejection where we had the bulls on the way up. We topped out at 43.50, 43.56, 43.58. And then on the way back on the first consolidation, we bounced off this support. So previous resistance, let's put it exactly there. Previous resistance, then acting as support, and now acting as resistance again. The initial high of the bounce was 43.60 on the dot. So this price level has been coming into play pretty frequently the past 2 days, and it's going to be up to the bulls to regain that level as support to try and turn things around and see bullish continuation on the daily. So I'm leaving this line here from now on because this level is going to stand out to me. Even if it's in 2 weeks before we revisit this level, it's going to be an important level because of the amount of price action, both as support and resistance, that we have experienced at this price level. So as of right now, I'm not trusting the bulls too much. We do have a clear little higher low and higher high, but why I'm not trusting the bulls is because of this 15-minute time frame. Just for more details, look at this example where we had just recently in the afternoon a pretty solid bull move, 2 hours of green, some decent bull volume, and a break of some resistance levels. But that being said, look at just a half an hour of a pullback. We took out about an hour and a half of bullish action in just a quick half an hour quick dump. So whenever you see, slow and steady, the bulls struggling to progress and see further upside, and then just with the flick of a wrist, the bears can wipe all that hard work out. that's obviously not a good sign. So we have to see the bulls break that little double top of 43.13, we can call it, and see a move up to 43.60 resistance in order to be confident in where we stand on this hourly chart. We did see the bullish MACD cross. It's a weak bounce attempt at this point. The 4-hour time frame is just not really showing confidence. We haven't confirmed any bullish reversal candlesticks. We've seen pullback, lower highs and lower lows. We've had a couple bullish reversal candlesticks, but again, no confirmation with a second candlestick in a row. So checking in on Ethereum, a bit of a different setup. We have the tightening equilibrium pattern on the daily time frame. So we have our high of the bounce, our low of the consolidation from that bounce, our lower high right here, and now the bulls are looking to try and form a higher low, which at this point is 287.65. So the tight range that I would be watching if we were to get rid of these other wider ranges would be right here at 304.69 resistance and 287.65 support on the daily time frame. So we're seeing a tightening range. The volume is non-existent, dropping off as we're getting extremely tight. The 4-hour time frame, trying to see a bounce play out here as well, and not convincing, no confirmation of bullish reversal candlesticks. It's a weak bounce attempt at this point. The hourly time frame shows it's just drawn out, hitting multiple resistance levels. We could put a resistance line right there, and it's just lower highs. We had a high of 293.92, 293.23, 292.90. So clear little lower highs, but also higher lows. So it's a tightening range. The most recent support is 289.58. So if I were watching the tightest range and the most important short-term levels on the hourly time frame, it would be down here at that 289.58 support, and up here at that 292.90 resistance. So that's where I'm looking at on the hourly. The bears are starting to take over in the short term. Same thing, just, an hour that it takes the bulls to see a higher high on this little move, and then 15 minutes erasing an hour and a half of bullish action. So cautious overnight. I'm personally not liking any bullish entries unless we see oversold conditions on the hourly time frame at this point. Look at the hourly for Ethereum. It actually has bounced pretty significantly. Originally, we had an hourly oversold bounce, and there were some decent short-term gains there. Just quick flips, 287.65, and we made it all the way up to 293.92. So over a $6 move. Again, nothing crazy, and some people might want to sit that out. It might not even be worth it to try and trade that, which is certainly understandable. I was skeptical of these oversold bounces because Bitcoin never hit oversold on the hourly time frame. The hourly RSI of Bitcoin, the lowest it got, was in the mid-30s. So that didn't have me confident because I knew even if Ethereum and Litecoin were oversold, if Bitcoin's going to drop down to lower lows and hit oversold hourly time frames as well, then we know that Ethereum and Litecoin could see significantly oversold levels and hit an hourly RSI down in the teens because that correlation is still so strong. So if Bitcoin had been hourly oversold, I would be more confident in a prolonged bounce in the other names as well. But because that was not the fact or not the setup, not confident. So even though we're seeing higher lows and higher highs here, just in the short term, it's not enough. There's not enough bull volume. There's not enough follow through. And again, I'll keep going back to the fact that the bears can erase bull moves very easily. So I'm very patient here, just sitting and watching the action and waiting for either a dump or a more convincing bull move. Litecoin on the daily time frame is extremely tight as well. Low volume the last 4 days. We have our high of the bull move at 57.45, our low of consolidation at 50.35, our lower high at 55.92, and now the bulls are trying to form a higher low compared to 50.35. So if I had to pick the tightest range to watch on the daily, it's 50.35 support and 55.92 resistance. That's about a 5% range, and we are closer to breaking support than we are to breaking resistance. The 4-hour time frame, again, it's a weak bounce attempt. You can make the argument that this is a bear flag where we see just a short-term bounce and not much follow-through. If I look at this bounce where we've been bouncing now for 20 hours, look at how much we've taken back on the 4-hour dump. Not even half of the candlestick has been recovered. So it is a potential bear flag on the 4-hour time frame. I will be cautious of, and there's that horizontal channel to draw on that bounce attempt. The hourly time frame, obviously, it's not going to be looking good here because I just drew it on the different time frame, but it's just not seeing strength is the bottom line. And we've got support right now at 51.85 and resistance is 52.15. Look at all these rejections. We've got a rejection at 52.29, 52.25, 52.25, 52.34, 15, 15. So just clearly in the low $52 range. We've rejected about a half dozen times throughout the day, and there's just been no follow through for the bulls breaking that resistance, and that's because Bitcoin's not really doing much with seeing that correlation. Again, Bitcoin hourly time frame, a very small range over the last dozen hours, and Litecoin seeing the same thing. So the Litecoin bulls would need to see a break of 52.50 for this bounce to really get convincing and strong, and to be entering back up where there's a lack of resistance. The initial high of the bounce attempt was 52.50, which is why breaking that would see some further momentum and upside. 15-minute time frame for Litecoin, we have a very clear little higher low pattern. It's just not impressive, as we do have that wall of resistance in the low $52 range. Let's see if we can draw some trend lines here that are in play. Just some uptrends and downtrends. I could draw that uptrend support line, but it only hits the price twice. Not really liking that. Let's see what a tighter trend line would do. And this gets a hit 3 times, so I would be watching this one. 3 touches of the trend line make it valid. We've got about 4 touches on the uptrend line. We've got 3 on the uptrend line and 4 on the downtrend line. And you can see how tight we're getting in the 15-minute here. So could see a break approaching, and that just tells us we don't even need those lines to know that we're getting very tight in a consolidation pattern. But it's just a help for a visual aid. And as I keep saying, I don't make trades based off of these trend lines often, but I will go and use that as a heads-up signal, and I'm really looking at 52.15 and 51.85 as the key levels that I'm looking at, rather than these trend lines, which are changing price. And every technical analysis can draw slightly different trend lines, and that's open to debate, whereas here, price levels are set in stone, not changing. Everybody's looking at the same levels. So that's what we've got on the big three as we head into tomorrow, or into tonight, I should say. And the daily time frame, again, just there's nothing right now that has me saying I want to get in bullish, and I'm being very patient, and it's going to be oversold bounces unless the bulls of Bitcoin can get back up to 43.60 resistance, and a break of 43.60 will put the bulls right back in the driver's seat on this daily time frame. We were looking at the potential of a candlestick similar to the last consolidation. We would have needed to have closed up near 43.60 to see that. That did not end up playing out. But here on Bitcoin, again, that volume on the daily is standing out to me. The lack of bull volume compared to the bear volume on that more recent leg up that we saw. So just cautious is the bottom line. Cautious and patient, and we'll see what tomorrow brings. I appreciate you watching. I hope you have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow. Single file.